Hey guys, Big Mike here. This is the video for what sold this week, June 28th through July 2nd. We still have a couple days left in the week. I will say I'm also going to talk through some things. One of the things I wanted to kind of talk through, wanted to kind of cover several things. Obviously, I'll cover the sales. The sales have been pretty slow this week, the first part of the week. I'm hoping maybe Friday it'll pick up a little bit, but my guess is with it being a holiday weekend in the U.S., sales will probably not be real high for me. So I'm not too concerned. Maybe next week it'll pick back up. Last week it did this though. It was really slow the first part of the week. And this last 2 or 3 days, it just absolutely slammed me. So we'll see how this works out. But first thing I wanted to kind of talk through is, what do you guys think about eBay's policy right now, where they have that you can, during the pandemic stuff that's going on, they're allowing buyers like a 30-day window to do a lot of different things like returns and other things. Instead of it being the normal return windows like 14 days and the payment window being 2 days, they've extended that drastically. I think the payment window it's at least 7 days. I think it may be longer. What do you guys think about that? Well, I understand, this is a kind of a hard time right now. I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with such an extreme amount of time for those kind of not conflict, but those resolution periods, because it seems like it's a little excessive, and it allows some buyers to really kind of play the system, game the system. And I think I've had that this week, and I'm going to talk through a couple of those things. One thing I had is I actually had a positive feedback this week that was a negative comment. What do you do when you get that? The other thing was last night I actually had 2 cancellations immediately after the buyers bought the items, and then I had another buyer 2 days ago that bought an item and then canceled immediately. And within the last 5 days, I've had 4 total cancellations, which is really odd. I've not had that many cancellations all year, and now I've had 4 in 4 days. So have you guys experienced that as well? And the last thing is the return window, kind of like I said, the 30-day, I think it's 30 days. What do you guys think about that? Because I had a buyer that opened a case on me. I'll go ahead and start on this. The buyer opened the case, and they bought a brand new Walking Dead season 1, I think it was, collector's edition with a collector's edition card inside of it and everything. It didn't have the cellophane, but it was brand new. It was literally had never been opened. The discs inside actually still had the cellophane on them. The clear wrap. The buyer sent a message immediately after ordering it, said, "I'm going to return the item. I'd like to cancel my order," after I'd already shipped it, because I've decided to buy a brand new copy of it. And I was like, well, this one is brand new. They didn't reply. They got the item, and then literally PayPal and eBay held my funds for 32 days before they actually let the funds go. The buyer never returned the item, but my funds were withheld for 32 days. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that's a little excessive. I think it's a little long. I'm just curious what you guys think about that. If I were doing this as a full-time business and it was a high-priced item, I'd be pretty upset about that. It was only $35 or so, so it's not the end of the world for me, but doing this as a hobby. But I'm curious what you guys are experiencing, what your thoughts are around that, and why, maybe why are they doing it that long? I don't know that it takes that long right now, unless somebody actually is sick or something's going on. I can completely understand that. So the other thing is the cancellations. I'm curious. I'm curious if you guys know, does eBay give you strikes for as a buyer, if you do a lot of cancellations? Because I've got to guess that with 4 this week, there's probably a lot of cancellations going on. Are they kind of letting that be a little more lenient now as well? I got one of them was actually my fault. I'd listed a Blu-ray set as DVD in the title, but in the subject down at the bottom, I had Blu-ray. So the buyer bought it thinking it was DVD, and they didn't have a Blu-ray player. Completely understand that one. But the other 3 cancellations were all immediate purchases, and then it had to be less than a minute. The buyer sent back and said, "Hey, I'd like to cancel." All of them were no reason. I did get an additional cancellation, which I didn't really discount. I didn't really worry too much about, because it was a buyer that was price comparing one of my items with their item they're trying to list. And when they were doing the comparison, somehow they accidentally clicked to buy it, and it forced them to pay it via PayPal, which is weird because I also had a buyer that the last thing that's kind of been weird the last week or so here. I had a buyer buy an item. I have PayPal set for immediate payment, and majority of the time when somebody buys something, PayPal is forcing, or eBay and PayPal are forcing that immediate payment. Somehow there's a couple buyers that are getting around that. I'm not sure if they're just leaving the browser window. They buy it and they leave the browser window sitting in the PayPal payment process, and they close it or something else. But it seems like it's really odd because this buyer bought the item, and even though it was set for immediate, all my auctions are immediate PayPal payment, they were able to wait 7 days before they actually clicked on the payment button. eBay opened the automatic case for me after 2 days, but then they let them go almost 5 days before, or 6 days before they actually made the payment, which is really odd. I'm curious if you guys have seen any of that kind of stuff, but I don't necessarily agree with those policies. We're kind of stuck with them, I guess. It's kind of been the way eBay has been for many years, but I'm just curious what you guys are experiencing on that. The last thing is the case was closed on the DVD set that the Walking Dead DVD set that the buyer bought and never returned. They actually finally gave me my money after 32 days, I think it was, which was weird, but I finally got the money, so that one's closed. But the 3 cancellations I did yesterday, those are all not a huge deal, but it just seemed really odd that there was that many where the buyer bought it and then immediately requested a cancellation. Hopefully there's not some scam or trick there they're doing, but either way, what are you guys seeing out there? The sales for this week so far from Sunday to today, which is July 2nd, the sales have only been $530 total gross for me. So not a huge amount of sales, but what I'm going to do is I've got all the days individually right after this. I'll go through each day. And this is the late evening on July 2nd. And you guys at the end, you'll see the early AM this morning when I got up to do packages. It was only 3 or 4 packages early this morning. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. As always, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, leave me something down below to know what you guys think about my videos and the content and what you want to see. And hopefully you enjoy it. Here's the sales. Okay guys, now we're going to go over the sales for June 29th. This would be Monday, June 29th sales that went over into Tuesday early morning. It's early AM Tuesday. The first thing I'm going to go over is this Rihanna Riri. This is a body mist, fragrance mist body spray. Picked these up for 90 cents a piece. They were on clearance, 90% off at the local Walgreens. I did go to multiple Walgreens to pick these up, and I got a lot of them. They've been, if you watch my last couple videos, this is the second one in 2 videos that sold. They've been out there for a while, and I really don't like doing these because you have to ship these ground because of their fragrance. If anything that has alcohol in it or that kind of stuff, you have to ship them ground. So I probably won't do these again. But anyway, this one sold for $5.99, and the buyer paid $8 or $7.50 shipping because it does have to go ground. So I'm going to end up making probably like $3 to $4 on this. Typically on these items individually, I have a lot of them, so I was okay with $3 to $4 profit. But the pain of when you ship them, you just don't. There's no tracking or anything because you're doing just regular ground. Maybe there is tracking. I can't remember. It seems like with ground, there's just the biggest issue is with ground, it takes forever, especially right now with all the shipping stuff going on. I've had a couple of these just disappear. They ended up never making it, and I ended up having to refund the buyers. So either way, Rihanna body mist spray, about a $3 profit on that guy, and I probably won't ever do these again. Okay, the next item is this Rome season. Let's see what it's complete second season DVD set. This is actually a pretty cool setup. It's a really neat case they've got and build. So this sold for let's see, sold for $13.49. I got this for $2.99 at my local Goodwill. Ended up selling for $13.49 plus the buyer paid looks like about $4.50 on media shipping. So total profit on this guy is easily going to be close to 10, maybe $9, $10. So anyway, another good eBay pickup. It was literally brand new. It just didn't have the wrap on it. I opened it up. Looks like the original owner had never even taken the discs out of their sleeves. They were like connected into the sleeves, like they'd never been removed. So not a bad sale. This next item is another Walgreens clearance item that I picked up at my local Walgreens. It's kind of an interesting one. This is a Smart Guard Dental Guard Elite. It's for clenching and grinding, I guess, while you're sleeping type deal. Picked this up for $2 and actually sold it for $14.99, and the buyer paid almost $6 shipping on top of that. So it'll probably go first class, so I may make a dollar on shipping as well for materials. So total profit on that's going to be around $12. The cool thing about these is toothbrushes, the electric toothbrushes, these kind of dental appliances, as long as they're brand new, these kind of things actually do pretty well. So keep an eye out for those, especially the electric toothbrushes. If you can get those on super clearance, look them up and see if what the sell comps are, and these are good items to flip. Okay, the next item is this Passport to Purity. It's a DVD set, getaway kit for a parent to share with their preteen. Somebody, I guess, a child that's probably maybe 7 or 8 to up to 12 years old. Anyway, it's a box set. It has everything. This is a Goodwill pickup, and I want to say it was either $3.99 or $4.99. But I picked this up, and I didn't realize it was missing one pamphlet. It's like a parent's guide pamphlet, but everything else is intact and unused. It's got like in the notebooks are still in the cellophane and everything, so they've never actually been utilized or written on. So I listed, a lot of these were selling for like $50 to $60 unused, brand new. So I listed it as $33.99. And also called out that the parental pamphlet was missing from this. I think they can order that online, or at least print it online. So anyway, went ahead and put it out there. It was, I think it was $3.99, and obviously I sold it for $33.99. So that's a huge return. So the buyer also paid $7 shipping. So I'm probably going to clear almost $30 profit on this guy, probably $28 to $30 profit on that from another Goodwill purchase. Okay, the next item is it's a Mother's Day haul. This one actually, though, usually they're $2.50. This one was $12.50. It was the last round that I went and picked up 120 items. They were almost all GI Joe. This is a Vietnam nurse. The only thing on this one is it's got a little bit of damage right here. You probably can't see it. There's a hole right here, a little bit of cracking on the side. But this is a 35th anniversary collection version, and this is from 1999, so it's already a vintage item, and it's sold for $26.99. So I've got $12.50 into it, and the buyer paid shipping on top of that. I'll probably make $1 or $2 on that. So total profit on this is probably going to be around $14 to $15. And again, this is the part of the Mother's Day haul extension, but I got it for $12.50. I love doing the GI Joes, and I'm actually surprised a lot of the sales today. This is the only GI Joe that sold out of all my listings. Everything else was a good mix of other items. Okay, the last item is actually a Star Tropics Nintendo NES original NES item. I'm going to show a picture of that on the screen. I don't have it in my hands. I can't find it right now, so I'm kind of hoping I'm going to have to dig through everything this afternoon and see if I can find it before I have to get everything out shipped out. But anyway, I'll show you a picture of it. I got it for $1 at a local yard sale. Tested it out, cleaned it up, all that, and it sold for $9.49. It wasn't a huge sale. A seller, it wasn't one of the best ones to have, but it still sold for $9.49. It's only been out there for about a month and a half, and the buyer paid shipping on top of that. So profit's probably going to be around $7.50 on that one. So that's all the sales for Monday, June 29th, and early AM on the 30th. Hopefully I have some more sales on Tuesday the 30th to show you guys. Okay guys, now it is the sales for June 30th. It's early morning on July 1st, and I'm going to cover the sales that happened on June 30th. This week is a lot like last week. The first couple days have been kind of slow. Not horribly slow, but a lot less than the previous weeks. It seemed like there were the first part of the week were the busy days, and then the second part was a little bit slower. The last 2 weeks, the first few days have been really slow, so I'm kind of hoping that this week picks up later in the week like it did last week to give me my record week for 2020. But either way, the other cool thing, interesting thing is sometimes it's weird how sometimes things that don't sell, and then I talk about them and then they immediately sell again. So as you guys know from just a few minutes ago, I had one of these that sold 2 days ago, and a buyer bought 2 of them yesterday. These have been in my listings for easily maybe 5 months at least. I sold a couple right off the bat, and then I haven't sold any. And then 2 days in a row, I've sold 3. In the last week, I've sold 5 total different sprays like this. So I'm really glad to see these things selling now. So I'll get these boxed up. These sold for $11.98 total. It was $5.99 a piece, and the buyer paid about $10 shipping because they have to go ground. So I'll probably make maybe close to $10 profit on that. It's just shy of $10, so not a huge loss, or not a huge profit, but it works out because I had a bunch of them and we're almost done. We have 1 left. So the other interesting thing is yesterday I sold one of these, and I did not realize I had 2. I went out to pull it, and I had 2 of them. So that guy actually was listed for 5 months as well, 5 or 6 months. And what's interesting is I listed this one for the exact same price, and within like 2 hours, this one sold to a different seller, a buyer. So it's pretty crazy how things like that happen. But anyway, this is a vintage. I think it's 1993 is the date on it. It's quite old. It's vintage new stock. So there are still a lot of people that use these, and there may be other people that collect them. Who knows? But anyway, it sold for $16.99. I've got $5 into it, and the buyer paid shipping on top of that. So profit's going to be $10 to $12 on this guy as well. Okay, so the next item, this one is not a huge one at all. It's one of the 800 DVDs I've got. This is the Doors Special Edition. It is opened, but it is a 2-disc set. It's in really good shape. The only thing is it did not have the little booklet that goes in the front. So I listed it and showed pictures. These DVDs, majority of DVDs aren't really selling for a high price right now. It's better to try and price sell them in lots. I listed this guy and I don't know why I did this, but I ended up selling it for $1.48. My cost on it is 54 cents. So I'm still making profit, but for the time and effort it takes to do single discs, it's not a good idea for that low of a price. If I was making $3 or $4, I would, $3, I'd be fine with that. But either way, this one's gone. I'm going to make maybe 50 cents max profit on this guy. Buyer paid shipping on top. So, all right, the next thing, I had a buyer that was interested in 2 of my wacky wobblers. They're both from the Dark Knight Arcanum setup. One of them, this one here on this side that is talking. I don't know if you can see right where my finger is there. This is a wacky wobbler talking Joker, and this one is a kind of a regular Joker, but they're both different looks. He wanted to get both of these. He actually wants other Dark Knight trilogy wobblers, so I'm going to see if I can find any others to send him an offer. But anyway, I combined these. I had this one was $42.99 and this one was $17.99 plus shipping had to be paid on both. Sent an offer, talked back and forth, sent an offer for $60 with shipping included. I've got $2 into each of these as part of the Mother's Day pickup, so my cost is going to be $4 plus maybe $7.50 in shipping. So cost is going to be maybe, we'll say $12 to $13. Profit's going to be around $45 profit on this guy. So really nice turnaround on that, and I'm glad. I'd much rather sell 2 to the same person and then have a repeat buyer in the future. That's all the sales for the 30th right now. Hopefully the July 1st day goes very well, and I have a lot of listings to show you guys for that. Okay, good morning, guys. We're now going to cover the sales that happened July 1st and early July 2nd. Wasn't a whole lot of sales. Like I said earlier, it's been a really slow week. So like last week, I don't want to get too excited, though. I think it'll probably pick up next week. This week is a holiday week in the United States, so I'm guessing that maybe a lot of people are traveling this week. That's my hope. So anyway, let me go over the First item that sold is this new bright 9-volt charger. The interesting thing about this is actually, I have 2 of these. These went to some airsoft guns that my kids had, and they were in our laundry room for a couple years. And my wife just the other day said, hey, she didn't say anything. She just took them. She went to toss them in the trash. She had them in a bag. She went to toss them. And I said, hold on, let me see those. And I looked at them and said, hey, let me try to sell those. They work. I plugged them up. They work. They charge. And surprisingly, both of these guys, or one of them sold so far, $7.99. So went from nothing going into the trash into $7.99, which is easily a $5 profit, $5 to $6 profit, plus the buyer paid shipping on top. I may make about $1 on shipping as well. So don't ever throw anything away. Lesson learned there. Many times I've had things that we would have tossed that I thought, let me just throw it out on eBay and see how it works out. And sure enough, this guy sold. Also, the next item is the Wild Bunch. This is a Blu-ray DVD, or Blu-ray, not a DVD. I think it's just Blu-ray, yeah. So this is from the Goodwill haul that I did, our sourcing trip. So if you guys go back and check that out, I'll throw up on the screen as well and let you see what the current status of that is. So this one sold, a couple other items sold, but as hopefully did in the intro, talked through, those items were canceled. So that one sold for $7.99, and the buyer paid $3 shipping on top of that. So profit on this, I think this was $1.99 when I bought it, or I bought 3 for $5. So profit's going to be easily $5 to $6 on that. But as a whole, we're well into the profit on the Goodwill sourcing trip. Okay, the next item is actually an item that I also hopefully talked about in the intro. This was sold a week ago, and I don't think I talked about it as a sold item in my previous videos, but this guy bought this item and then waited, I think it was 6 days to pay. Right now, eBay is allowing buyers a lot of leverage with the COVID stuff going on. So either way, this guy sold. Beanie Wells, Ohio State. This is from 2011. This is a pretty neat little setup. I actually did not think these kind of things would sell. I got a bunch of these from the Mother's Day haul. Cost me $2. This guy sold for $17.49, plus the buyer paid shipping on top of that. So I think my total profit on it's probably going to be around $15. So I was very surprised. I've got a bunch of these kind of sports memorabilia, and of course I've heard of Beanie Wells, but I didn't think he was. This would be a hot enough item that it would sell. I've got a lot more like this that I put about a dozen out there, and I've got hundreds probably to put out. So I'll go ahead and probably start listing more and more of those. But either way, profit $15, and that is the sales for so far this week. I'm probably going to cut it off here. Thank you guys for watching this week, and hopefully you enjoyed the intro and everything. If I get any additional sales, I'll probably do a end of the weekend, maybe a Sunday on July 5th, and let you guys kind of see how the holiday sales went. If not, I may do a discussion about other items, other things. So either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As always, throw me a thumbs up, throw me a comment, let me know what you guys think about the content, and be blessed and be safe. See you next time.